Putting your home into a revocable trust is considered an estate planning best practice, but in light of the many natural disasters that have been ravaging the nation, from the fires out west to the fires, hurricanes, and tornadoes right here, homeowners are missing a major step in protecting their most valuable asset. Let's welcome on this Money Monday, Marshall Milligan, attorney with Bell, Carrington, Price & Gregg. Good to have you with us.
Thanks. Good to be here.
So let's talk about revocable trust. We've heard of revocable, irrevocable trust. What's the difference between the two?
In the language, right? So in a revocable trust, the person setting up the trust and has the power to revoke it, whereas an irrevocable trust is kind of set in stone, for lack of a better term.
And who would those individual types of trust be tailored to?
Well, I think so. Revocable, it really depends on what your assets are and what you are wanting to put in the trust and what you're trying to accomplish through the trust, whether it be to avoid probate or to make sure assets pass to your heirs easily. That's a discussion you should probably have when you go meet with your attorney to set it all up, because they're going to tailor it to your particular situation.
I see. Okay. So while a home destroyed in one of these events is in a trust, that's not necessarily going to fully protect you, since the property also has to be insured, most likely. If you need to make a claim with the insurance company, that creates a bit of a wrinkle.
Yes, so picture in a scenario where you buy your house and then you own it in your name. I own my house, Marshall Milligan, and then I decide to set up the Milligan Family Trust and put it into the trust so it goes to my kids easily. When I convey that to the trust, I'm no longer the owner of the house. The trustee of the house, the trust is. And so if I bought an insurance policy in the name Marshall Milligan, there would be a little bit of an issue if there was a claim if the insurance company noticed that I was no longer the owner of the home that they insured under my name. So,
do you think a lot of people even realize this? It sort of eludes me, because I just figured, well, it's in my name, the insurance is in my name.
And especially if you're the trustee of your trust, you're not thinking that it's, I mean, if there's some gigantic family trust where some law firm is a trustee, maybe somebody would be thinking about it, but when it's just you wouldn't normally. But I think a lot of attorneys that prepare trust and do this kinds of stuff, the insurance part of it is a step that they would typically go through with the client. And it's a simple solution. You call your insurance broker, and most of the time it can be done over the phone. It's as simple as doing what we call an endorsement to the insurance policy. You just add the trust as an insured under the policy.
Okay, so it's actually very simple, and you don't necessarily have to go through your attorney to do it.
No, you would do the trust through the attorney, but the insurance part you could just do through your whoever you buy your insurance through, your insurance broker, you know, whoever that may be.
Yeah, because, and if you don't, then you say that there's going to be hoops that you're going to have to jump through in order to get things right again. So it sounds like it could be a major headache if you don't.
Especially if you are in a position where you need to find out if you have coverage quickly.
Sure.
For instance,
a catastrophe happens.
A catastrophe, a hurricane for us here. Yeah. Even as simple as a burst pipe in your house and you've got flooding and water damage, and then you're spending a significant amount of time trying to convince the insurance policy that Marshall Milligan, trustee of the Milligan Trust, is the same as Marshall Milligan that they issue the policy to, when really you need an adjuster over there telling you how much money you're going to get and trying to get the problem fixed.
Nice. And just while we have a few seconds left, you know, since we're talking about the topic and you're here, do you recommend that most families do put their property into a revocable trust or irrevocable trust?
For me, every situation's different. So I think consultation with your tax advisors, your banking people, and your attorneys, and come up with the solutions that's best, because trusts work for some people and don't work for others, considering.
Is there a tax benefit to doing it?
Sometimes there are, sometimes there aren't. That's why I think it's worth having the conversations about, like, hey, this is what I want to do and this is what I have. And then, because everybody's plan can be different.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. I think for anybody who's watching this and they'd like more information, they'd like to talk to an attorney, where can they find you?
I am on James Island at Bell, Carrington, Price & Gregg. My number's 843-737-5849.
Terrific. We're going to put that up on the screen. I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
We're back after this.